This is where it's at.
My man Trey.
Yes, sir. How are you?
Looking good over there, my man.
Well, thank you. You must have started drinking early.
I didn't. I just poured my first glass so that I'm totally focused on the show tonight.
That was a sober compliment?
That was a sober compliment.
I like it.
Yeah. I'm going to go ahead right off the bat and talk about something really fast. I didn't know if I was going to talk about it at all, but it is important to me because it's about Taco Bell.
Of course.
In this day and age, in this country, probably the world, but definitely in this country, everybody is suing for everything, right?
Right.
We talked about this, McDonald's, all kinds of frivolous lawsuits, if you will. And this one hit home because, again, it's Taco Bell. And there's a gentleman by the name of Frank Siragusa, and he's a New Yorker.
New York,
which
okay.
Doesn't, I guess doesn't
Goes with the name.
surprise us. We have a lot of New York listeners now, so I'm not going to say anything about New York. But he, get this, Trey, he is suing for false advertising.
Okay.
Because of the amount of beef on his Crunchwrap Supreme
of course.
And Mexican pizza.
Of course.
He is claiming, I think he meant 50%, but he's claiming that there was 100% less beef.
Wouldn't that be none?
That's what I thought. But he basically what he's saying is there was no beef. There's barely any beef on this thing. And he took a picture. In all fairness, not a lot of beef. But are you really going to sue? Can't you just go, you know what? Maybe I don't go there next time, or I don't know.
You figure the cost of the lawyers alone would be.
That's what I'm.
Is it worth it?
I don't know. He was upset because he paid $5.49
right
for a product that he claims the pictures falsely advertised.
Interesting.
And it says beef and or toppings.
I want to see
whatever the hell that means.
I want to see a picture of the lawyer that took this case.
Oh, no, right?
You know?
You know what? A vision just popped into my mind right now when you said that.
Wife beater with a gold chain, and
my clients are always happy. Yeah.
I want to hear that conversation when Jim comes in and says, "I'm suing for not enough meat on my my what the fuck is it called, a Mexican pizza?"
The Mexican pizza and a Crunchwrap Supreme.
And the lawyer's
get your
like,
shit together,
well,
Trey.
fuck yeah, let's do it. Let's go after Taco Bell.
Oh man! So get this though. All right, he wants $500 per count. So he got one of each. So he wants $1,000 for that one night. He's claiming this happened multiple times.
Gotcha.
And so get this: if it wins, anybody in the span of this 2-week period that got either of those items can provide proof of purchase. I don't know who keeps their receipts. And you'll get the $500 too per case.
No shit.
So if you ordered like 5 Crunchwrap Supremes, that's $2,500 right there.
God,
can you believe that?
I wish I'd have kept my receipt.
This is ridiculous.
Well, I guess if you order on Uber and stuff, or on
that's true. You have,
on the apps and shit, so you'd have that.
Should we go like right now and order like 67 Mexican pizzas just in case this guy wins? I don't think it's going to go well for him. But.
If we say no meat, will that?
on the receipt, it says no meat. We're like, that's bullshit. I said extra meat. God damn it. And somebody said this was a whole nother another way to look at Taco Tuesday. I thought that was a joke because this came out on a Tuesday.
That's interesting.
So anyway,
I wonder if he holds steak in like another, like a Taco Bueno or a Taco Casa, But maybe they're not up there in New York.
Yeah, I don't know. Are they? I don't
Probably
know.
not.
Either way, this bottom line is this guy's an idiot, and I can't imagine if he wins, something's really wrong. Don't you think?
I would think so. Yeah.
Okay, let's move on. All this did is make me want a Crunchwrap Supreme, meat or no meat, because some of the other stuff's pretty good.
What's the difference in a Mexican pizza and a tostada? Is it just because there's one chip or two chips?
You mean the? Oh, that's true. Yeah, because
Is that it?
Yeah, because you put stuff on the top chip now too.
Okay.
So it's not. You're putting different things on the bottom and look.
So if you get,
we're moving on. Trey.
If you get two tostadas and stack them to eat them at one time, does that become a Mexican pizza at that point? Okay.
No, because there's stuff on the top that doesn't come on a tostada.
Gotcha.
Am I really going through this with you right now? Anyway, we spent the entirety of that song talking about Taco Bell.
Well, this is important shit.
Well, that's
especially
true.
when there's a lawsuit in play.
That's true. This episode is bittersweet, and I don't really mean it's bittersweet. I mean it's the last episode of season 1, Trey. What do you think about that?
So we're already through season 1?
Season 1 after tonight is in the books.
You're not going to kill me off before season 2, are you?
No, I think you're integral to the plot.
What plot, though?
We'll see.
Okay.
But season 1 has been fantastic, and we've had so much fun, and I've really enjoyed watching this thing grow, and I've enjoyed getting to know some of the listeners, and feeling like Trey and I are kind of figuring shit out as we go, and so it's sad to I mean, it's silly because all we're doing is just going to the next show, and we're just labeling it something different, but it's still kind of like, okay, this is in the books. This is a good turning point for us,
right,
to move on to a lot of different things. Trey and I are going to be
a little older, a little wiser.
Older and wiser, but we're also going to be adding a couple elements to the show that I think are going to make them
either better or scare the shit out of you, one or the other.
Right. And whether you want to see us or not, you're going to see us.
And I'll have to say, I want to give you some kudos because from the get-go, you're the one that's really been driving this, really been pushing us along. I show up from time to time, throw out some dumb shit on the recordings, and you let me be a part of this. So I appreciate that, and I appreciate your hard work with all this.
Your dumb shit has more wisdom in it than anybody else's dumb shit.
Well, I appreciate that.
Yeah, but no, thank you. And you don't need to say that. I mean, this is our show together, but we won't get sappy. But it's our show together. But I have so much fun with it, and I really think it's something that you and I need to be doing. And we're working hard, right? It's
been fun seeing it grow.
Yeah, so we're going to keep going, and hopefully you guys spread the word and help us out. But I started thinking about season 1. I started thinking about some of my favorite parts, and we won't make this too long because no one probably gives a shit at this point. But I loved all of Trey's dating stories, and as we all know, and we put a hold on that for a little while because I think people were starting to get scared. People knew Trey, and then all of a sudden they said, "I didn't really know Trey." Apparently, no, I'm kidding.
I tell you what, I get a lot of questions about my sexuality now, even with those stories. So
they didn't. I don't know if they did anything to help or hinder, if you will.
Oh well.
But there's some that stuck out. I mean, I thought you and I had a really great debate on things like the death penalty and the marijuana talk and things where we kind of had different viewpoints. But I also enjoy the things that we talk about that are we're like-minded on, which I think is a lot of things too. I think we're like-minded on a lot of issues about staying in the gray areas, the trans issues, and definitely. Being gay in the United States, we're on the same page. We kind of thought the same thing for Jason Aldean's songs. I mean, things like that, where it's okay to be on the same page,
right, and
be able to talk and give different perspectives. I've really enjoyed learning about so many things that we have brought to you guys that I would never have probably looked at before, like the orcas and the animals and the wolves, and the lovely Annika Zvenska. I mean, I would never know who that was, and now she's on my list.
Definitely seen a lot of crazy stories from the United States and around the world since we started doing this show. So
one of the funniest ones to me, well, two of the funniest ones that stick out to me, one was the wife that was left on the side of the road in was it Thailand or something like that.
One of those
over
areas,
there, and he drove for 100 miles and didn't know.
Didn't know.
The other one was in Nicaragua, I believe it was the bull penis whipping ritual.
Right.
You know, the recently, I think it was just a couple shows ago, the lady that jumped in claiming her dog would save her, and he just
ended up drowning. Yeah,
he just didn't save her.
Or the guy that got freed and ended up running back across the North Korea border.
Yeah. There's been some great ones, and I think that's what I think of is our ability. When I look back on season 1, I think of our ability to talk about serious topics, which I didn't think we were going to do at the beginning of this thing. And I think I've had a good time, and I hope you have with it too. And it's especially talking with a few of the guests that we've had, whether it's Jess or Antoine and Meg, and getting other perspectives. And I think we plan to do more of that for sure. We've got some in the lineup here.
And I do want to thank you for teaching me the lyrics to WAP, because I think I get wrapped up in my dancing and don't really listen to the lyrics. So thank you for teaching me those.
Now you have an awareness of Cardi B's intent
of the lyrics of it. So
I taught myself a few things in reciting those lyrics. Mainly that I should never be a rapper. But
have your text messages gotten a little bit more risque to your wife now?
Oh, it's like, what? What's the big deal? It's
like, babe, I'm going to bring my bucket and mop up there as soon as I get done with this show. She's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I forget so many of those lyrics. But yeah, that was funny. So we've had some good stuff, and I think just the ability to turn anything randomly into something funny, hopefully, is good. So and we're hit or miss, right?
I think so.
We're not 100% funny, but I'd say we're pretty.
I think we're pretty damn funny.
Yeah, that's all that matters.
Right. I don't give a shit what you think.
Yeah, exactly. So we're going to move forward, I should say, and we're excited about new guests and new topics and all kinds of stuff. And we have an election coming up, which is going to.
I thought you were going to help me register.
I am.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll do that. You still need to register just to vote?
To vote, yeah. I've never done that before. I actually showed up to vote one time, and they're like, "Oh, have you registered?" I was like, "No,
no, I didn't know. I
didn't know you had to do that.
What are you talking about?
I'm an American. Let me just mark something down on the paper.
I'm going to write it and put it in the box." But like I said, we're going to have some changes. We're going to do a little video, some guests,
tasteful
videos, and it may be a little bit of a schedule change with times and things like that. But it's all going to be based on what we've learned from you guys. So,
man, I got to get my nails done if we're going to do videos. I can't have my nails looking like this.
I know. I started thinking about that. How we got to look a certain way.
Can't wear the same thing every show either anymore.
Just get plopped down in the chair looking like shit. But it's I'm excited about that, and yeah. So we'll see you guys in season 2 after tonight's show. Tonight's show is going to be great. I'm excited about it. Let's go ahead and start. Trey, what do you think? Now that
have we not already started?
Now that I've gushed about,
I'm so confused right now.
Now that I've gushed about our show and how excited and happy I am and all that, let's. I've got a story tonight that's basically, I think it probably just explains what we do here better than anything.
Doesn't?
I don't know.
I can't imagine explaining what we do.
It's a story about a Japanese man.
Okay, of course, yeah.
Who spent $15,000 to $20,000 to become a dog.
To become a dog?
To become a dog.
It makes sense. Good for him.
His name is Toko.
Of course.
Of course. I mean,
like Smith, Toko Smith.
Well, at least Toko is easy to pronounce versus some of the other ones.
Is that his dog name or is that his real name?
I think that's his real name. You know, they didn't give a dog name. Maybe we should name him Toka. Toko and Toka. It's a human-sized collie costume that was made to fit like perfectly like a collie would be, and he has to squeeze in this thing and actually move around like a dog.
So
go ahead.
Sorry, should we worry about the company that made this for him?
Probably. And I forget exactly what they do, but they're prosthetics and they're this and they're that, and they do they make models.
Unless they charge the shit out of him, then good for them.
Well, that's what I'm saying. $15,000 to $20,000 for this thing.
Interesting. Just an expensive Halloween costume.
Exactly. Except it goes further, Trey.
Oh, God.
He said, "I've always dreamed of becoming an animal." And he dresses up in this costume a few times a month.
Please tell me there's gatherings and stuff like this.
He goes, "I rarely tell my friends because they might think I'm weird."
You think? Wow.
He only does dog things when he's in the suit. He refuses to act human. He won't speak. He won't do anything human.
Does he pee on like fire hydrants and shit like that?
He rolls over for belly rub.
Hold on, where's this again? You said he's Japanese, so it's in Japan? Holy shit.
Sitting and lifting his paws.
Oh, of course, yeah.
For treats, I suppose.
So he walks on all fours?
He eats out of, yes, he walks on all fours. He also is known to be walked on a leash.
Oh.
Outside.
By who?
I'm not sure. But I do believe that it said that just the other day was the first time he actually went on a real walk. Like he was nervous to go outside on a real walk.
Well, yeah. You think?
And then the other one is he eats out of a bowl
on the
ground. And it's fake dog food. It's like maybe like it kind of looked like Cinnamon Life. Remember that cereal? It was like brown, but it looked like dog food. Right. But it was cereal.
Which one would be more nerve-wracking? Walking someone or being walked?
Yeah, who's giving it? Who's like accompanying this?
Because you're the normal you're not in the outfit, so everybody can see you walking this grown-ass man in a fucking dog suit.
I just think it's funny that the actual headline of this was like, man afraid to tell friends that
well, now the friends know.
Well, now they know exactly who he is. But what got me was... And then we can end this. This was just a quick. I don't know what to think of this, but you needed to know. You needed to know.
What? How does he go to the bathroom? Does he go to the bathroom like a dog too? Does he pee out the suit?
That's one thing. Well, come on. If you're paying this much, they better put a pee hole
and a poo
hole. I mean, right?
Wow.
Can you imagine this?
So what is a cop going to do if you see this grown-ass man in a dog suit shitting on the street?
Well, the person that's walking him has to pick it up.
Oh.
That's the person that would get in trouble.
No.
Right?
You have to draw a line at some point. Do you say, I'm not picking up your shit?
The person that's walking him, the cop comes, he's like, look, this guy's a human. He's fucking crazy. He's in there. He shit.
But he's paying me a shit ton of money to walk his ass.
He shit on the lawn. You need to get him, not me.
Wow.
It'd be funny if the guy's like, yeah, right, sir. Hands on the car. Anyway, so Toko's costume has attracted fans from all over the world.
Fans? Really?
It says fans. And his YouTube channel,
holy shit,
has created a space for like-minded individuals to open up.
Oh my God.
Quote, you inspire us to fulfill our dreams too, one subscriber commented on a recent video, while another said, I hope I become the animal I want to be as well. You're an inspiration to us all.
Holy shit.
There's really not an ending, so we should probably just let it go. But there's no response.
So if you could be any animal, what animal would you try to be?
I didn't see that coming. I don't know. Something powerful, right? I'm not going to be a collie.
I want to be something that I don't have to get on all fours too.
Well,
so like a bear or something
gorilla
like that. A gorilla, that would be fun.
Yeah, a bear. I mean, bears go on all fours. They all go on all fours, but you don't have to.
I think a polar bear would be cool.
Yeah, but you don't like the cold.
I just like the all white.
So
maybe a koala.
Ooh.
You know, you have the ladies coming up and always petting on you and stuff like that. That'd be
you're chilling in the tree.
Plus.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to think about that.
Yeah,
get back to me.
You weren't ready for that?
No.
How are you going to give me a story like that and not be ready?
I'm never ready to know what animal I want to be. If I came back in my next life as an animal, that's a whole different question because I'm actually an animal.
Gotcha. If you go pay for a suit,
but I'm not paying $20,000 for a costume.
No.
Can
you imagine that conversation with the wife?
Yeah. Why is there a $20,000 charge on the Amex to a prosthetic rubber company?
Prosthetic rubber company.
I don't know. It would be worse. Maybe the costume sounds better in that case. But anyway,
it's for when you're on those long trips, babe.
Exactly. And I mean, he's not lying. I mean, it's probably when he gets in. It's probably when he gets in the suit.
Did it say if he's married or not?
It didn't, but I think that's something we probably should have checked on.
Because if he's able to maintain a good married life, I figure out what I'm doing wrong. You know. So.
Yeah. Anyway,
and the next one. Okay.
Yeah, we're moving on from that story because I have nothing more to say. That right? I just wanted to let people know there was no agenda other than this happened.
Be the animal you want to be.
Yeah, right. According to his YouTubes, how many of you are actually going to look? I didn't look. I think maybe we should do that for homework. Maybe we'll put it on social media.
That'll be fun. Yeah.
See, we're giving this guy publicity. Maybe we should do YouTube channels and get costumes. Maybe that's a good idea.
Hey, that's how we do it. Yeah.
Because I think his YouTube channel is doing pretty well. So there's that. Moving on to a different animal topic, and I think this is, anybody that said, "Oh God, here we go again," shut up, because this is different, and I'm excited about this. Orcas, Trey.
Oh my God.
Orca killer whales.
I think this has become an obsession.
It is. When new things keep happening like this is crazy. Okay.
I hope friends of ours start buying you orca gifts. And that becomes a thing.
No, I don't love them. I'm scared of them. They are intense.
You're going to get an orca prosthetic costume.
They are smart.
Yes.
They are. No, I didn't. Orca is not my choice.
No.
Although, if you could assure that I would be, no. If I could hold my breath for like 30 minutes.
You wouldn't be able to move around. We have to put you on like a little sled or a little cart or something and
How am I
just pull
supposed
you
to
around.
How am I supposed to swim? Okay, so they're orcas, and this I don't even know where this was. I think it was off California, but okay, get this: the whale shark. You know the whale shark. It's the largest shark / fish in the ocean.
Okay, right now,
the one that
as of today.
The one that is going to come into play here in the story is 60 feet long. That's a big ass shark.
That's a big
60 feet.
60 feet. Give me something.
18 meters for our European listeners.
That didn't help out. How many car lengths is that?
I don't know.
You don't know that one?
5? What's a car? 12 feet? Less? 12 feet?
Give or take.
5 to 6 cars.
Okay.
Let's just say.
All right, we'll go with that.
Or listeners like, just go.
Get in the fucking story.
So basically, it's a big shark. Now, what these orcas are doing, and did you know that orcas once were like known as, quote, gentle giants?
Well, of course, yeah.
I don't think so anymore.
I didn't know that.
I think they're like, no, we don't like being called that, so we're going to kill everything. So this is what they used to do to these whale sharks. They would come up on them as a group, a pod, if you will.
Okay.
And they would, because when sharks go upside down, they lose all sense. They're like kind of like in chaos, right? So one of them turns them around and bites him to where he's stuck upside down.
The whale shark.
Okay. And the other orcas come and they start eating from his stomach.
Damn.
Yeah.
Sounds pretty vicious.
Right.
Is a whale shark bigger than an orca?
I think so. I mean, I don't think the orcas are 60 feet, right? But I think they're close. I think they're. It's not like this thing is just absolutely massive over them, but I think 2 or 3 of them at a time is definitely an advantage.
So orcas are pack animals?
Apparently. Well, we learned that about the boats and taking off the rudders and everything. So anyway, so now what's happening? That's how they used to do it. That's how they used to do it. Now they're just going right up to the belly from underneath and just sucking the liver out.
Holy shit!
One of them swims by and does an incision. And they got this on camera from underwater somehow. And one swims by real fast and hits it with its teeth and just cuts the stomach open.
Damn!
And the others go by and so sharks, these whale sharks that have been washed up on shore that they found. Apparently, then the whale shark just like it's done. It just floats to the bottom. It's done. The ones they found have had their livers and other organs, I guess, on the way out, gone, missing, but everything else is there. So they're literally sucking the livers out of these sharks.
God damn!
Tell me that's not weird.
That's a hit and run right there.
Get this: scientists believe we talk about how smart these guys are, right? Well, and Gladys, the girl.
Is this gang territory? Is that what they're fighting for?
Scientists believe the orcas are so intelligent that they now know that liver is healthy and that liver provides a huge energy burst.
That's crazy.
And that's why they're going for livers in every big animal, and they're vicious about it now.
Wow.
Because they're getting this, like, it's like an adrenaline, it's like a drug. And they just go and they take these shark livers and they're just like, it's like a fix. And so I don't know about these.
Can they smell it?
I don't know. I don't know about these scientists. Who knows? They're the ones that claim
that's fucking crazy.
It's gang activity under the water. But
so if you're sitting on a boat, do they smell our livers?
Who knows? But I mean, that would make sense to me that they're trying to get us to fall over.
Let's hope dogs don't figure this shit out, because that would be chaos.
Yeah, can you imagine that? Or all mammals.
Right?
Everybody's after each other's livers.
Holy shit.
But I do like a little bit of haggis, which is sheep,
Haggis.
liver, lung, and heart.
Do you fry that up into a nugget, or
You can.
just a little ranch
They'll
dressing?
do like, you've got to put ranch on there. Trey, yours would be melted cheese, ranch. What else would you put on that?
That sounds amazing.
Haggis fritter
Fritter. Yeah, I'll take that.
with cheese and ranch.
With some chips? Is that what
Chips
fries
on the
are?
side, yeah. Chips over there. Hey, good,
Yeah.
Trey. Good
You
job.
like that?
Yeah, good job. They'll be proud. So there's the Orca update. You see it. I can't pass it up, right?
That's crazy.
Well,
I
then
don't see why you had to wear your Orca shirt just to tell that story, though, for the show.
then they have. So then they were. What were they? The sea lions. What was the sea otter that was stealing
Otters,
surfboards? Yeah. The sharks. And now are the sharks going to revolt? That's my question. Because you had some shark issues. Remember on the East Coast over the 4th, you had people getting bitten. And
We got an East Coast, West Coast scenario coming on.
that's right.
It's a long swim around.
The sharks made it over there, and the orcas are like, "Nuh-uh."
This is our territory.
Yeah. Go tell your friends back east what just happened to your cousin. And
Holy shit.
so, enough about orcas.
There's some crazy shit going on in the water.
Enough about orcas.
Oh, we're moving on
Let's move on
until the next show.
until the next show, until something else happens. I haven't seen any in the Gulf yet, which is what I've been looking for because we are close by. I may be going up to the Northeast for a very brief vacation,
Nice.
and I'm gonna be on the lookout. I'm not going near the water.
Good idea.
Not only for orcas, it could be anything up there.
Your liver is
For all I
important.
know, the main. I think I'm going up close to the main area. The main lobsters would jump out of there, clawing me and shit. Like it's
Going
all
after that liver.
Yeah, they're just claws are
Come here,
going
bitch.
just for the liver. Give me that liver. I think we have to bring this up. I don't really want to, but I think we have to because yet another situation came out involving this person, and we may, look, if you don't want to hear about this, then fast forward to the next segment. It should be coming up fairly soon. But we've got to talk about former President Donald Trump. We just have to do it real fast.
Do we?
Yeah. Because yesterday it was the third kind of group of indictments that happened, and it has to do with they're claiming that he was trying to overturn the 2020 results in the election.
Let me ask.
Go ahead.
Do you think if he realized all this fucking backlash was going to happen, do you think he would ever ran for president back in the day?
I don't know. And some people have brought that up, but I think it had already started. I mean, I think
Because I never heard anything about Donald Trump until he ran and became the president. And now you hear everything about him.
Yeah, and I'm not exactly sure what it was that like I said, I think things had started becoming divided before he announced that he was going to run.
Yeah.
Whether or not you want to blame the previous administration for a few tactics that I think were there, that can be a whole different discussion. I think the country was getting tense already with a lot of the social issues, trans and still pride and all that, and then abortion has always been. Border control. I mean, all of these types of things were issues.
So people were already starting to get butthurt
They're getting
before
a little-
Trump became president.
Yeah, and it became so, like we've talked about many times, one side versus the other, and it just was dividing. And instead of dividing and saying, "Oh, well, I think this, haha, let's have a beer together," it became this, this all-out spit fest over the line. And I think what happened is like I mentioned on my, I think it was X2. I think it was No, that was Colin Kaepernick. I did on the first show I did by myself, a brief show about Donald Trump. I mentioned that I don't even think he did it. I don't even think he meant to do it. I think he was used by both sides to say, my side stands by him and the other side says, screw him, he's evil. And they were able to just separate even more. And I think that he's polarizing. Look, he says stuff and does stuff, whatever. But I don't think it was that exact. I don't think it was those actions exactly that did the most dividing. I think that the rip had already started, and then it just blew up. And so what's happened now, and again, I don't know if I think there's a part of him that actually enjoys the spotlight. That's kind of one of I've got to, look, Donald Trump is not infallible to me for sure. I mean, anybody that thinks I'm this far right guy that defends him is wrong. I think that he needs to calm the hell down. I think he needs to not say certain things. But then again, he won based on who he is. He won. And a lot of people believe he won a second time. And that's where this whole thing gets weird.
Do you think Melania, is that her name?
Yes, good job.
Just rolls her eyes every time something new pops up. It's like, really?
I feel bad for her because,
and she stands by him.
Yeah, just
to the bitter end.
Stand by him. I mean, she could easily. I believe she could leave, and people say she wants money, this and that, but I don't think that's fully right. I mean, I think she's frustrated, and I think, they asked her once, what did you say when he, she's being a good wife? I mean, this is kind of again, the people who don't like Donald will roll their eyes, and the people that do are like, hell yeah. They asked her when he approached her and said, how do you feel about me running for president? She said, well, as long as you know that if you run, you're going to win. And it was like this, light in the fire. And he had his wife just basically say, you win at everything you do.
Kind of like Adrian and Rocky back in the day.
That's right. I mean, gave me
goosebumps.
I mean, he went and did his montage in the gym. Right after that, he swam some laps. He was, I mean, he looks fit as hell, right? And he probably went and played around in golf and got all excited. And look, Donald is a very unique person, and he's somebody that has divided the country unintentionally. And I keep saying that. I don't even think he knows half the stuff that he does. I honestly, I don't. I mean, he doesn't. It's not like our current president who doesn't know for a different reason what's happening.
You think he's got that best friend that he's known from since high school, and
he has to. I mean, I wanted him to succeed when he won, and it was new and exciting, And I'm that guy. I want to see. All right, show me, Donald. You have all these things you're going to do. Show me. And I waited and watched and kind of saw him do some good things, and then all of a sudden, he says something or tweet, and you're like, oh God, dude, like seriously, like don't be an idiot. And I just don't think he does a very good job of trash talking or. Yeah. Like someone will say something in jest and he just slams them and insults everybody around him. It's like, okay, whoa.
He does realize millions of people can see these responses, right?
That's right. And so his Twitter was probably one of the worst things. And anyway. But let me sum up real quick the three kind of groups of indictments real fast. The first one, just so people know, and we're doing this. There are people out there, Trey, that are so obsessed with this whole thing that they go into detail and they know every little thing and that's not us. If you want to know what he's being indicted for, here it is. The first group of indictments was for quote unquote hush money to porn star Stormy Daniels.
Well, of course.
I think we've referenced that before. She claimed that there was an affair back in the day. I think it was in the 90s. And apparently he paid her $130,000 to keep quiet.
That's it?
And that's what I was saying. Immediately I was like, $130,000, like Donald Trump.
I probably wouldn't be proud of that.
Yeah, I was gonna say she must have not been very good.
Wow.
I don't know. And again, he's claiming it didn't happen. But the issue was that leading up to his campaign for 2016, that's illegal. You can't. It's called hush money, right? And so
if he wasn't running for president, it was okay.
I don't know the answer. I don't know. I don't think you're allowed to. I don't think you're allowed to do that. But because where's the line? I mean, what hush from what? Like if you're not running for some sort of office or something that your job's going to be affected.
Maybe he just didn't want to get details to go. Like a non-disclosure. Is that not the same?
I don't think so.
I mean, Derek Jeter gave gift baskets to all the women. So how is that not frowned upon?
Right. Well, Trey, that leads into my whole point tonight is the hypocrisy involved. Is I just think that certain people get overlooked, and I don't think Donald did. And I think that in this case, what if he gave her $130,000 to help her out in some way? Just here's a certain amount that she claims she needed or whatever, and it was gifted to her.
Or he just said, here's $130,000. Please don't let people know I like to be paddled. And with a pacifier in my mouth.
I think that counts as part of the hush money.
Oh, that's a hush money.
I think so. But that's
I got to make a phone call real quick.
Your reaction initially was what mine was. Oh, that's it? $130,000? And so I'm wondering about that, and nothing's come of that, and nothing ever came of that. So I don't know. The second one is, of course, we talked about not long ago, and I think that's when I brought it up on that show I did by myself, is the classified documents. And apparently he took some after he was technically no longer president and didn't let the government come retrieve them, apparently, allegedly. He's claiming that's not true.
So how do you just take them?
But that's what I don't know. I mean, he's claiming that none of that was the case. If there was any left over, they were left there accidentally. Apparently there's footage of somebody moving the boxes around in the middle of the night and from one location to the other, and then they claim there's evidence, and I'm going to wait to see.
Interesting.
And I'll get to it. I'm having a hard time focusing because I want to get to the hypocrisy of it. It's insane. The third indictment is just yesterday or the day before, I believe, that where they're claiming now he was trying to overturn the 2020 election results because, and that he used, what happened on January 6th and the whole kind of breaking into the Capitol building and all that, and how, of course, his opposition is saying that he incited it when in reality he was on the TV saying don't use force. But could he have been a little better with it? I think so, and I wish that's one of the things that with Donald Trump, I wish he would have really been adamant about. Hey, what the hell are you guys doing? Get out of there! This is so stupid. This is ridiculous.
Maybe he didn't realize the influence he had over some certain idiots.
Maybe. I think he does. I think he kind of knows he's got a follow. Basically, they're saying he was using January 6th as a reason to delay the results, and he was also claiming, as we all know, and a lot of people still do, that he didn't lose, that it was a fraud in different states. He apparently made phone calls down to the Georgia governor and some other states saying, "Hey, recount this, redo this," basically putting pressure, which you're not supposed to do. And so they're indicting him on that. Okay. Now that I've gotten through that, I can go to my hypocrisy really fast. And I'm sorry to bore you, Trey.
You can't go to anything really fast.
I'm going to try because I don't want to dwell on this, but it needs to be talked about, and I want to see what you think, honestly. So you've got the three indictments, and my problem is the hypocrisy, okay? The first one is Hillary in 2016. She argued the results, claimed it couldn't possibly be this. She challenged him and whatever, which is essentially the same thing that Donald Trump said and did, period. Not to mention her emails that apparently had the whole email thing you heard. You had classified information and all that. Well, that's just kind of been brushed away. Right. At the time, of course, one side, pro-Trump, anti-Hillary, was like, her emails, and that's what they used in the campaign against her. And in a sense, I think that's what's happening here is that's going to be used against him. Right. Of course, all these indictments. Why wouldn't it be? Plus, the Clinton foundations have these questionable handlings of money when it comes to Haiti and that whole disaster. And they were supposed to. The Haitian president said they promised us this, and we got zilch. So where did all that money that they collected for the Haitian disaster relief go? Again, I don't know. I'm giving you some of these.
So what's the end game of the people that are bringing all this up? Are they just wanting to see him? I mean, is he going to end up getting prison time?
Well, that's what they want.
They just want to be able to take pictures of him in prison,
in an orange
walking
suit.
him in prison. That's all they want.
These people are. We talk about the followers of Donald and his. I made a joke about them being a cult and whatever, and there are some great people that support Donald Trump. I'm not trying to say there aren't, and there are great people on all sides. I'm going to play that card. Everyone's like, shut up, Ryan. But I am. I'm going to stay in the middle and say great people. But they're also idiots on both sides, 100%. And just like the cult on one side, you have the crazy, crazy extremists on the other who literally want anything bad to happen to a human being. Donald Trump. They want him to be tortured, and I mean, they would laugh if he got in some sort of car wreck. I mean, There are these people out there.
Okay.
And they want him in prison. They want him this. They want him.
What if he came out and said, you know what, if all this gets dropped, I will not run for president again?
Well, that's interesting.
Would they back off?
I don't know. I mean, that's interesting.
I mean, how focused are they to see him behind bars to where there's nothing that's going to stop him from doing this?
I think it would ease it a little bit. I still don't think. I think there are enough people out there that are still so adamant that they're like, doesn't matter at all. And I think that so you have that level. Then below them, I would say, are the people that just don't want him to be president again.
Yeah. And
let's not kid ourselves. He's got a great chance to become president.
Yeah. Oh, I can believe it.
He because of our current administration and how shitty they are, and they are. As shitty as Pence and Donald were at times, look.
I tell you what, though.
Joe Biden, I mean, come on.
I did buy stock into pudding, and so that's...
Well, if he doesn't
really
get presidency, that's all he's going to have to do.
Yeah, I'm going to have to sell if he doesn't get a second term, though, because I'm sure that'll change.
I think he may eat more if he doesn't get that second term.
I didn't think about that.
He may be at the home
more
there.
Time to eat pudding. So.
Plenty of time.
Gotcha.
I wonder if he eats while he's like on with world leaders. He's got his butterscotch flavor today.
Lie. I think about it every once in a while. We talked on the show at one point where he's probably walking around with his boxers and the long socks and a wife beater on, and his wife's right behind him. He's like, Joe, we need to get you dressed.
Joe, you got a press conference. Your pants.
He's just scooting around the White House. Kamala Harris is like, oh my God, what did I get myself into? Yeah. So anyway,
where has she been? I've seen her like 3 times in the span of the entirety of their.
Hey, anyway. Maybe that shows how intelligent she is. She's like, I don't want to be a part of this.
Well, I'm not. I don't know. I'm big a fan of her. I am either. But it's.
Can you imagine during a speech, he just turns around and says, "Kamala, where's my pudding?"
That would be the greatest thing.
That would be.
And it's funny. Then you say, well, what could maybe like Donald say in that situation, or what would he if he turned around and said something? Well, he does say stuff.
Yeah,
like he says
he will.
The type of stuff you go, what if Donald said this? Well, he did. Kind of thing.
Unfortunately, yeah.
I think for entertainment purposes, I can't wait to watch him talk to people. I do agree with a lot of the policy that he pushed because of the party. And what a federal government should do. We talked about that. I think what a federal government should do, maybe I lean a little more that way versus social, societal issues. And so I can't even imagine to what content we're going to have as this thing gets rolling here. And we're going to be, just so you know, we're not going to be a political show. You're going to hear plenty about the Orcas. You're going to hear plenty about
the Orcas.
Japanese men who are dogs, and you hear all about that. But at the same time, we do need to give you. We want to give a little bit of current events because I think there are so many people that are like us, Trey, where this is interesting to a point, and then after a while, it's like, all right, who cares? Donald says some shit. Biden's eating pudding. We'll see them debate, and it's going to be glorious, right?
Well. Because I'm so naive when it comes to politics. I'm just curious. I heard a lot at the way Donald Trump handled things. He handled America more like a business. Do you think that's why things were going in a different way? Is because he was handling it like a business? But I've also heard on the flip side that he just wasn't. He wasn't really a good businessman in some aspects, but that could have been overblown too. So
well, we talked about this a little bit before, I think, but it was a while ago. So briefly. I think there are a lot of people that will say they think the country should be run more like a business, and that their politics, when it comes to the federal level, should be handled that way. Hardcore, tough. They understand foreign affairs, the financial part of it. They're not going to get screwed over on deals. That's my biggest thing with Donald was that he wasn't going to take shit from anybody.
Right.
And everybody tried to interpret that as, oh, well, he's giving the middle finger to the world. Well, he wasn't. He was saying we're not going to be taken advantage of, and I could go off and give examples. I won't. Don't.
Well, we've got our own issues here, so I understand trying to help the world, but why don't we fix what we've got going?
Well, and that
here?
goes into what I was going to say about Joe Biden, and so the other side is saying, well, we don't need a businessman, we need a politician because this and that. He needs to be a diplomat or ambassador for our country and be the face of the country, and that's great, but that's not all it is. If that were the case, we could put the prettiest guy in the country and have him go smile for the cameras.
Right.
And that's not what it's all about. It's nice to have, and we didn't. I don't think Donald is A lot of people say all the mean things about him. He's repulsive. He's orange. Whatever. He's just an old white guy. He's not, good or bad in my opinion, in front of the cameras. And so I think that's where you get into, all right, my politics, I think running it like a business would be better. Some people say no, and that's where just like everything, that's where you get into a little bit of a tussle. So real quick, what I was going to say about Joe Biden and Hunter, his son, their families is being accused, and I won't go into all the details, but just constantly accused of interacting with foreign countries where Joe Biden is benefiting financially based on bribes, based on business, based on, apparently the Ukrainian, which is why everybody on the opposition to Joe Biden is like freaking out about all the aid we're giving to Ukraine.
Gotcha.
It's getting a little ridiculous. Right when it happened, okay, let's help out a little bit. But the amount is insane, in my opinion, for what we're sending them when we have issues in our own country, especially. Right. That's the big thing. And so you're looking at Hunter Biden with Ukraine. While Joe was the vice president, he was set to financially benefit because Hunter was sitting on the board of a Ukrainian energy company. And he was going to get like upwards of $10 million just for ousting a Ukrainian corruption something. And,
okay. I did hear a little bit about this, yeah.
And then there were like tax and gun charges to Hunter Biden, and he was treated a certain way based on bribes. And then there were demands he was giving to the Chinese for using his status as the son of a VP, and then he's trying to trade information. So talk about secret information. Apparently that was being given to other countries in exchange for financial gain. And again, none of these things, I'm going to say it, it's alleged. They're not fact, okay? I can't sit here and say that we need to wait for the case on Donald and turn around and say not say the same for these guys.
Right.
But the fact is that it's not even being
talked
all
about.
You hear is Donald Trump, he being indicted. How dare he? And we're sitting here with a sitting president and his family who don't look great.
Well, it's probably because Trump's more polarizing and Biden's is he kind of looked at as a joke?
Well, looked at as a joke, but I think one side is so just screaming so much about Donald Trump. And I don't think, you and I sit here, and I'm not on one or the other, but I don't think there are a lot of people that are fully on the right that sit there and feel the need to bash Joe Biden. They can sit there and say he sucks or, look what he's doing, gas prices and things like that. But they're not after his character and his this and that, except for these types of things. They're going, hey, what's going on here? But everybody against Donald is just like everything possible about the way he plays golf. I saw a video the other day, Trey, where somebody posted he shanked a shot. Somebody got like in the bushes and got a picture of him playing golf. Of course, there's like 10 golf carts in Secret Service.
Right.
And he hit a shot, and admittedly, it wasn't the best shot. He's probably
Who cares?
Probably 100 out, and he pushed it off and got all mad. And someone's like, "See, he lies. He's not that great at golf." And it's just like, really? It was just so silly.
Ridiculous.
And I see a lot of that. I really don't see a lot of that about Joe Biden, except when he falls. But that is funny, right? Am I right?
Especially when he drops his pudding.
And for someone that has shanked his fair share of shots, both of us, that's not necessarily something to make fun of, all right? So
right.
back
God damn it.
Yeah. But anyway,
drop another ball and hit another one.
That's right. I wanted to bring it up. The hypocrisy is what bothers me. I didn't want to get way into it. I want you to offer any thoughts you may have.
And I do want to offer a thought. For those of you that don't know what hypocrisy means, like myself, I did look it up while Ryan mentioned hypocrisy about
you should just have
the
dictionary open at all times.
It's the practice of claiming to have moral standards or beliefs to which one's own behavior does not conform. So
there you go.
You're welcome.
Basically, it's doing one thing and saying another. Is one way to put it. It's everybody sitting here wanting to indict Donald Trump and all these things when people on their proclaimed side, if you will, have just as many accusations, and that's it, but they're swept under the rug. I'm not going to say it because I'm afraid for my safety, but Hillary Clinton is people think she's got a lot of skeletons in that closet, and all the way back to George. George W. had things going on over in the Middle East and with the oil and all kinds of stuff. So it's just not Donald is my point. That's it.
Another question I want to ask you.
Sure.
When Donald was president, was he bitched about more for his antics as far as on Twitter, as far as dumb shit he would say off the cuff during interviews or during a debate, more so than his policies he was pushing?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
So why?
No one was going to agree with anything he did. I mean, he could have saved a group of puppies in a river, and they would have been like, he took too long.
So they didn't really bitch about the policies he was pushing through or the changes he was making. They bitched about the way he would handle himself on Twitter or...
Well, let me rephrase. They of course they bitched about the policies because, yes, there is a left and a right mindset when it comes to some of those policies. So his border, securing the borders, his opposition wants it to be a more open border. When it was foreign affairs, when he backed, one of the best examples is he backed out of something called the Paris Accord, which is a climate change, worldly kind of organization where everybody in the world comes together. The big powers come together and they put money into this fund and they research together for climate change. Well, Donald Trump backed out of it, and everyone went, "Oh, how dare he? He doesn't care about climate change. He's a climate change denier and all this stuff and blah 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 blah." First off, he has a right to feel the way he does about climate change, right? First off. Second off, if you don't know, the United States put in like $250 million for that year into this, right before Trump was elected, into this program. China and India, who are the world number 1 and 2 polluters, I guess that coincides with the population's polluters in the world by a long shot, had some sort of deal with the Paris Accord where they didn't have to put a penny in until this is back then, until 2025 or 2025.
Wow.
Because of whatever structure and Trump's going, well, hello, we're like 18 on the list, which isn't great, but we're still, and we're doing what? And no one else, unless something else happens here, we're out. We're pulling. So it was financial. It wasn't it wasn't anything to do with climate change. We can do our own studies here. Why not? This is another topic we should do sometimes. Climate. This is so, people are sick of hearing us say it, gray area for me. I believe you can research climate without going extreme on either side. If you're on one side and you're like, it's so stupid, there's no such thing as climate change, whatever. Well, okay, we can still look into it.
Right.
What's the problem with that? On the other side, this planet is dead. Where all grandkids are going to die, whatever. Okay, really? This planet's been here a really long time. Take it easy. Let's just whatever.
We'll figure this shit out.
30 years ago you said this, 60 years ago you said this, and it's none of it happened. So let's just work together and continue to research it.
Right.
That's why is that difficult? It shouldn't be.
Everything is difficult.
Everything is difficult. So that was my big example, is that people went nuts when he pulled out of the Paris Accord. And of course, Biden wins the election, and the first thing he does is goes right back into it just to kind of stick it to Donald.
Yeah.
And it becomes a pissing match.
And Biden probably paid, $500 million at that point.
Yeah.
We'll cover India and China.
We're sorry for what Donald Trump did. We'll go ahead and pay interest.
Right.
And I'll give you a side of extra pack of pudding.
That's what I'm talking about.
On the side. We'll crate that shit right in. Cargo plane. We'll drop it in crates. So we won't go on anymore. I like your questions, and I'm sure we'll get to some more as the election approaches and the campaigns get rolling. But it happened the other day with the third group of indictments. And I don't know what to think. I mean, I think what we do with the Trump topic is we really offer this kind of, we're not going to sit on one side and throw stones at the other. We're going to sit here and go, all right, well, the other's saying this. All right, well, the other's saying this. And that's really all it's going to be. It's just kind of a informative information, if you will, about Donald Trump and the whole process. What do you think?
What did Meg say? Do your own research.
Yeah. You know what? You want to know any more? You go look it up. Because what I just told you is all you really need to know. So that's the Trump talk tonight, and I think we'll get more into it. But I hate hypocrisy, Trey. I just hate it. And so there you go.
I already forgot the meaning of it, but yeah.
Just remember, do as I say, not as I do.
Gotcha.
Okay. if any of you are still left. Hopefully some of you who didn't want to listen to that fast forwarded to now.
Now.
I'm going to put the time on the thing like I've been doing, and you can go right here. And,
I like it.
So this is going to be fun. And I saw this and I thought immediately to myself, this just screams Trey and Ryan.
I can't even imagine where you're going with this.
This is the longest walkable road in the world.
Wow, interesting.
Immediately, do you want to do this?
I was going to say, is any road the longest walkable road if you're going to walk it?
That's deep. Hold on. What?
I mean, if you start on the coast of California and start walking down a street and just keep walking.
No. This goes through. No, it's one path.
One path. Okay.
And apparently it goes through. Well, I'll get there. How
Okay.
about that? Okay. It's the longest walkable road/path in the world.
Road/path. Got it.
And we're going to do this. What do you think? No human has ever done it.
Can we skip it or like
skip parts of it? We did it. We're
going to give each other piggyback rides from time to time?
Well, we may have to. Listen. It starts in Cape Town, South Africa, which is the southern tip of Africa. Right?
Okay.
We just got back. But this is further south. So this is in South Africa, and it goes all the way through Africa.
It's in the name, South Africa.
That's right.
Yeah.
We go all the way through the rest of Africa, going north.
Okay.
Up through 16 countries, 6 time zones, through seasonal changes in climates.
Got it.
Through Europe and into Asia.
No shit.
Ending at what's called Magadan, Russia, which is way in the northeast, like in Siberia. This isn't like Moscow. This is way the other side.
Interesting.
And this is 14,000 miles.
That's fucking crazy.
22,000 kilometers for our
lay people.
Never been done. They claim that if you walked 8 hours a day, it would take about 587 days, which is roughly a year and 7 months.
If you walk 8 hours
8 hours a day, which I thought it'd be even longer than that. A year and 7 months for that long.
8 hours a day, though. That's a lot.
Well, I thought you and I could go ahead and just do like 20 hours a day.
Holy shit.
Get there quicker.
And sleep for 4 hours? That ain't going to happen.
Yeah. Well, here's some other reasons we won't sleep.
Uh-oh.
Okay. Well, it starts in La Haglas.
Were you clearing your throat? What was that?
Halagulis, South Africa.
Okay.
It says, well, first you'll start by passing immediately through hazardous areas where there is high crime. You and I would die immediately on. Yeah, we would make it 1 hour into the journey.
You're like, hey, fellas, wait.
Yeah. Hey, guys, how's it going? Okay. Yeah.
Shit.
If you make it through South Africa, you go up into the areas known for their unique wildlife. I don't know if I like the word unique being there.
Yeah, we'll find the unique ones.
Apparently Zimbabwe is next, and it's known for this, and it's rough geography, which I don't know what rough means. Is it hard to walk on or
rocky roads?
It sounds like
rocky roads. Huh?
So you go up into Mozambique, Zambia, which we learned was the zombie area. So maybe we have issues there, and into South Sudan, which is like I think the newest country out there. But once you get to South Sudan, there is no operational road. It's a path, and it leads through the Sahara Desert.
Holy shit.
Into Egypt.
Interesting.
If you make it there, do you feel pretty confident yet about making it this far?
Not at all.
Then you head into the Middle East,
okay.
Into Jordan, Israel, and Syria.
That should work out great for us.
There's no conflict there.
No issues at all.
No issues over there. No, they love Americans.
Hey guys, America.
But then through Turkey, Georgia, which is not the state of Georgia. It's the country by Russia. Turkey, Georgia, and into Russia. And then you still have 8 months left to walk. And you'll hit at some point, because it's 8 months, you're going to hit a Siberian winter.
Holy shit.
So you go from Sahara Desert, which is all over the place weather-wise, and Zimbabwe, which I imagine, as we learned, we need shorts and...
You can't time this to where you miss the winter?
I don't think so. Well, I think the winter lasts like 6 months. I think because it's
gotcha.
northern, Russia, and that's Russia doesn't necessarily want us there either. So, which leads to the next part. So,
the busy right now.
Other difficulties in this journey include the unstable governments,
You think?
Along the way. Civil wars that are happening right now.
Right.
And every country that you go through, 16 of them, is going to require different visas and passports just to enter the country.
Shit.
And vaccines, vaccine requirements. The changing temperatures, the terrains, food availability, because they're going to go for days, sometimes without seeing anybody. So what do we pack? And then the supplies. So what about, they're saying you should have some sort of satellite phone. Because the service is not great.
Yeah.
A hatchet. This is what they're suggesting.
A machine gun.
A knife. Machine gun. And a fire starter.
A fire.
Okay. I mean, fair enough. I don't know why that wouldn't just be called a lighter. But
a Bic, yeah.
And they're saying this would be necessary due to all of these changes, terrain and temperatures. But that's the point is, okay, so what all do you pack? What would we pack that we could carry everywhere?
That's a lot of shit.
So anyway, I thought this was interesting as a kind of a fun fact because you're going, could we do this? Could we be the first to do this? I don't know, man.
Answer would be no.
I'm surprised people haven't really tried it. Apparently, it's equivalent of 16 trips up and down Mount Everest.
Damn.
Which to me, I still would think it would be more because this is a long way. This is the southern tip of Africa, the northern tip of Russia.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah. So, do you want to do this?
No.
No? Not even going to...
No.
Well, we just got back from Africa. We're going to put plenty of pictures up. We had a great time. We're gonna summarize it later. We're trying to get wraps on the trip, and we'll put some pictures up. And again, we'll once we lead into season 2, we'll kind of give you a recap of everything that went down out there. We're here. We made it.
We came back.
We came back.
I don't know if we came back or they sent us back, one or the other.
Yeah, I still haven't decided what that was all about there at the end, but we'll talk about it. And we had a good time. So I'm not quite ready to get back to Zimbabwe and all these places that are close by where we were.
At all?
At all. I think I like here. Anyway, so that was kind of one of my facts was the longest walkable path in the world.
That's interesting.
Yeah. What about you? Got any facts?
I don't have any facts, but
It's great. Thank you.
I did run across an article that discussed the most unusual, odd, and bizarre deaths in history. So
well, those are kind of strange facts.
Yeah, that kind of piqued my interest a little bit.
We'll play it off.
So the first one, of course, jumped out at me because it was Hammer Time.
Hammer Time.
Hammer Time,
like MC Hammer.
MC Hammer. I was like, okay, that's catchy.
Fair enough.
So Hammer Time in 1981, Paul, I'm going to say Gauci, from Malta, the little island in the middle of the Mediterranean, just in case you didn't know, decided to do some DIY, some do-it-yourself.
Oh.
Okay. He made himself a makeshift mallet by welding an old tin can he found onto a metal pipe. So this is where things went sideways. He found out, unfortunately, that the can he used wasn't any old tin can. It turned out to be a butterfly bomb left over from the Second World War.
What? What's a butterfly bomb?
I'm glad you asked, because I actually pulled that up.
Oh. Look
It
at you.
says the butterfly bomb was a German, I don't know if this really helped, but it's a German 2 kilogram, 4.4 pounds.
Oh, there we go.
Anti-personal submunition or bomblet
Sure.
used by the Luftwaffe during the Second World War.
Oh, yeah, the Luftwaffe.
I don't know what the fuck that is.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Says that
You don't know what that...
these bombs were actually delivered by air, being dropped in containers that opened at a predetermined height, thus scattering the bombs. When released, the casing sprang open to form a sort of parachute, which also rotated the whole assembly, thus arming the fuse.
Huh.
So, yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
So
my brother would be all into this. He's all about World War II, if you remember. He'd probably have some... He would tell us whatever the hell
some
that
more
was.
interesting facts.
Well, he would, whatever that was that we were just kind of laughing about. He'd be like, "Oh no, that's the blah blah blah."
But yeah. So, with that being said, when he made his first strike,
oh my god,
with his new hammer, it exploded and killed him.
Oh god. And that reminds me of that story we did about the grenade. The grandpa left
Yeah.
behind, and the family was like, "Oh, look, let's pull the pin and throw it around."
Dumbasses.
Oh, that sucks.
So
That guy died. How old was he? Did it say?
41.
41. Oh,
So it said presumably his wife was a little furious about that.
she's like, "Well, shit happened."
No shit.
Yeah.
Hopefully he had a few dollars to leave the wife. I don't know.
That one was good.
So the second one that popped up, it says, put a sock in it. So it says, if you have a partner who snores, do you have a partner who snores, or are you the snorer?
You're asking me?
Yes.
I think both of us actually do. I know that I have in the past snored. We've slept in the same bed, Trey.
Yeah.
Do I snore or did I do okay?
I don't remember.
I really am up and down. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't.
Gotcha.
My wife does a lot, but it's so light. It's like it's almost
snore.
it's almost peaceful, Trey, if you will. And I'll say that. And then when we're off the air, I'll say something. I'll tell you.
You'll tell the truth.
I'll tell you the truth.
So anyway, says if you have a partner who snores, you have our sympathy. It says spending nights tossing and turning while your better half snores their way through the night is akin to torture. Our hearts go out to Mark and his girlfriend Tracy Lambert, who, after being told by doctors his snoring was incurable, tried to solve the snoring problem by shoving
Oh no.
2 tampons up his nostrils.
Oh my God.
As you know, traditionally, this is not where they're meant to go. Hope you already knew that.
Yeah.
So they talked about his snoring and decided that this was the best way to stop him. And Mark ended up suffocating in his sleep
Yeah, I mean, what else was this story?
and passed away.
Wow. Mark, I mean, I respect the hell out of you for trying to make it better, but goodness gracious, sometimes you just gotta.
I wonder how the cops looked at this situation. You know, it's like I'm sure they did some kind of investigation. It's like, are you just that fucking stupid? Or
What if they think somebody
killed him with
killed
tampons?
him? Well, killed him and then like put that in there and
Put the
said, yeah,
tampons
he
up
did
his
this.
nose?
He must have suffocated.
Yeah, we're stupid, dumbasses. The last one here I kind of saved because I know this will be near and dear to your heart, and because it happened in Florida.
That's your favorite. I'm okay with my Florida listeners.
Yeah. So it's called La Cucaracha.
Oh no.
Yeah. Deerfield Beach, Florida. That sounds like a Florida city, right?
Oh,
Deerfield Beach, October 2012.
I'm still thinking of the title.
Yeah.
God. All right, go ahead. I'm gonna hear it.
32-year-old Edward Archibald.
Oh, Edward.
And you should see the picture. I hope this is not him. Anyway, excitedly enters a cockroach eating competition.
Oh God, Edward, you sick fuck.
Oh, it gets better. At a local reptile store. Oh. The prize, a python. Because,
What?
and it's no shit, it says because Florida.
Does it really?
Yeah.
Did you write this article?
I did not. It says Edward wolfed down dozens of live cockroaches.
Oh, were they like the African ones or were they American ones?
Didn't say.
Either way,
it's fucking disgusting.
Yeah.
And ultimately collapsed and died soon after the bizarre promotion.
How many had he had at the time?
It said
So
dozens of live cockroaches. That doesn't seem like that much, but
Oh God.
says the cause of death was determined to be accidental choking due to arthropod body parts.
Oh, God, you did. I was gonna say, watch it be something where like the legs got all tangled up together or something.
It said he had planned to sell the first prize snake to a friend, said the owner of the Ben Siegel reptile store, before adding, "We feel terribly awful. No other illnesses were reported among the other 30 competitors." So yeah, poor Edward.
I don't have a response. I have nothing to say at this moment. I don't feel bad for Edward. I just feel like anybody that's willing to do that.
Eat a bunch of cockroaches.
I can't even think about one, see a picture of one, look at one, much less get close enough to even think about putting one near my mouth.
I think this is a good idea. Let's try that just for a snake.
And for a python, like who gives a shit? Like if, that would be another price point talk. Okay, would there be a price point for me to eat a live roach? And I don't even know if there is. I mean, for me, that's so gross to me that, I mean, I guess if you tossed like $25 million at me, I'd probably just deal with it. But
You did hear the part that he was from Florida, right?
yeah, I know. I'm trying to visualize the type of people in this competition, and the type of people that are just want a python so badly they're willing to eat all these cockroaches. And Florida has its fair share of those insects. Let me tell you. Oh man. Okay, that was.
So yeah, that was some interesting.
That was
stuff. I was
disgusting.
reading
Thank
those.
you.
I was like, this is pretty funny. Had to share with our listeners.
The weird deaths are always interesting. I think that's they're out there. I mean, I feel like every day there's probably something out there.
I mean, who would have thought that would have been his last meal?
Well, oh God. If you asked me what the opposite of my last meal would be, that would be it.
That would be it.
That'd be the lowest. I can't think of anything I'd rather eat less than a live cockroach.
Than cockroaches.
Ugh. Anyway. Ugh. Okay, let's move on to I have a quick little thing about Belize. Do you know where Belize is?
I've been to Belize.
Yes, that's right.
Yes.
Yes, we talked about that. Belize.
The roads are shitty.
I'm sure there are some roaches down there.
Yeah, the resort was nice, but yeah.
It's along the equator, I think, or is it south? Either way, it's down there in that area. Off the coast of Belize, there is a hole in the ocean. And when I say hole, it's like 400 feet deep, and it's 60 miles off the coast of Belize. And I asked somebody I know somebody from Belize, and she said, "Oh yeah, people come and visit just to go, scuba dive above the hole, and they just haven't had the technology to get quite that deep yet until now." So guess what? They made it to the bottom.
I was supposed to say, I know some women like that.
God. Hold on, I need a moment. So a billionaire named Richard Branson sent down Fabian Cousteau, which I meant to look this up. I meant to look it up. He's got to be related, right? What are the chances of an underwater explorer named Cousteau? But Fabian Cousteau traveled down, and I got excited because they were like, "Oh, check out! They found stuff." Okay, it's a little underwhelming.
They found plankton.
They found trash,
of course,
lots of trash.
Yeah,
specifically a 2-liter bottle of Coca-Cola.
Interesting.
A long lost GoPro with photos.
Oh,
so I don't know.
Bet that was interesting.
I don't know if they're trying to get it back or what should be like somebody meant to throw it down there. It's like somebody cheating or something.
Well, when we were there, actually one of the guys that was with us lost his GoPro, so maybe it's his.
Were you guys swimming around the hole?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, that's.
Well, when we got drunk later, we swam around the hole a little bit. So.
Well,
that was a different hole.
Well, they had to search there for that GoPro, not this hole. This hole has a different GoPro.
That was some different pictures, yeah.
They also found, unfortunately, 2 bodies.
Oh shit!
They were missing divers from that had gone missing.
Searching for the hole in the hole.
Searching in the hole, trying to probably go down, and idiots. And they went ahead and left those bodies. They claimed it was they thought it would be a good resting place.
Oh, okay.
And they went, but they did tell the Belize government. That was nice of them.
Yeah.
So what if the family was like, "Hello, we want those."
Right.
They're like, "We can't get back down there for another how long?" But they took a submersible, right?
Oh shit! We know how useful those are.
They took a submersible down after, and they went through some caves, and they had stalactites. I think I'm saying that right. Stalactites. Do you know what those are?
No.
The little like spike-looking icicle things. They're not ice, but they look like icicles. I can't even
spell that to Google it. So,
well, I had probably had to look again too. But they're little like kind of made of the surface of the walls and caves.
Okay.
And they hang down, and they're made of different things. And look, all you stalactite pros and know-it-alls, tell me what it's made of. Don't let me laugh at me. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's made of whatever the wall's fucking made of.
Right. Makes sense to me.
Minerals and shit, right? And so what somebody's saying, though, is that they don't grow underwater.
Oh, no shit.
So that means at some point this was dry land.
Oh, wow. That's interesting.
Which, of course, they had to ruin it. At the very end of the article was like, the guy was quoted saying, not that I have a problem with climate change, but he was saying, this is the biggest example of why we have to get our shit together.
Oh,
and
no.
I was like, I read a story about this cool hole. He found some stuff. wow, it means that the water did rise and or whatever. Just leave it.
Yeah.
Say, all right, maybe we should look into this. That's it. You don't have to make this big statement. I feel like everybody's making a statement these days.
Could it not have sunk like a sinkhole?
It could. I mean, it looks like a sinkhole. I mean, it looks like it looks like the bottom of the where the ocean is, which isn't very deep right there. It's like the Caribbean, so you can see the bottom. It's probably like 30 feet, but it looks like the hole was just dropped out.
So it could have been above the water,
right,
and transitioned,
right,
and now it's below the water.
But again, interesting. Just wanted to update you on the findings in this world.
I'm always curious when you find new holes, right?
Hasn't been many of those in a while. Do you have any interest in like heading down there as part of our world tour?
Searching for. I've been to Belize once, to
the hole.
Do we want to go to the hole?
I want to go to the hole. Would you like to try and go down on a submersible?
No.
I don't think anybody wants to go on a submersible.
No. No, maybe we can do like a helicopter ride over it, or maybe even sit in our hotel with a drone and look at that. Nice. Yeah, we could, while
sit at the pool
while the drone is flying over it and getting massages and shit.
We forget it's up there and it just crashes and
and they find it in the hole later on.
Yeah. Ooh, yeah. Yeah. The footage is
can you send that back?
Yeah, can we get that?
We want to put that on the show.
Yeah. So there's a hole 60 miles off of Belize. Go at your own risk. There were already 2 bodies found. I don't want to be number 3 and 4. How about that?
Every couple that went on that trip though got divorced.
Oh, really?
Yes.
That's wow. Okay, so you're telling me that on your trip to Belize, on the waterfall tour, that was the same story with the alligator.
Actually, I take that back.
The crocodile you told us.
3 out of the 4 couples ended up getting a divorce.
Okay, still not great odds.
Not good.
Or good.
Yeah. And
what was the other one?
Oddly enough, it was a lesbian couple that are still together. So
well, good for them.
Yeah.
Good for them. Every time someone says lesbian couple, every guy looks up in the air and just kind of like
fantasizes a little bit.
Ponders like, what does that mean? Why are they together? What are they doing right now?
So interesting, right? I always joke with my friends. We'll see a picture that pops up of all of us. I said that was the picture that doomed us right there. Yeah.
I wonder if the lesbian couple is just like fighting it out. They're like, no, we can't be the last group.
The last one, yeah. So anyway, it was a fun trip though. So very cool.
Yeah, I wanted to get down there. Costa Rica sounds fun. Some of those spots you just don't think about, or at least I don't when it comes to bucket list.
Right.
Obviously Europe and Australia and places like that. Iceland, even Antarctica. I'd love to go just put my foot on it and say I've been on the 7th continent. But I would go. Let's again we'll get a list together of all the places we're going to go.
A world tour
because we've done well so far with our first trip, and so I'd like to get the other ones going, and maybe spend more time in reality at these places.
Right.
We were in our own La La Land on the safari. It was surreal.
Right.
It was almost like we weren't there. And so
trip of a lifetime. So last thing tonight, self-awareness, or an awareness of self-awareness segment that we do every show. These are always fun.
They're always fun. I hope people listen. I think by now, hopefully some people enjoy this and are like, hell yeah, let's give it to these people because they're idiots. And I think some people are like, I'm tired of hearing Ryan and Trey bitch. But I don't care. We're going to do it anyway.
Yeah, it's our show.
But listen, I think those people are the ones that probably are guilty of a lot of these things.
I can imagine.
That's what I'm going to play off. So everybody listen, or else you're one of the guilty.
Right.
There you go.
You're the asshole.
I'm like bullying people to listening to this segment. Okay. I have one. Do you have one?
I'm sure I have plenty.
Okay. Do you want me to go?
Sure.
Okay. I feel like I've talked a lot.
Are you surprised?
No. Yeah, I meant to tell you this and everybody listening real quick. My son at night, have I told you about telling him stories? So yes. At night, I put him to bed and I lay in his bed with him and we talk about superheroes, and it's essentially the same story but in different settings.
Right.
It's him and his friends who turn into the superheroes against the same 4 bad guys.
Yeah.
That show up just randomly. And it's the same story. But this time it was at school. This time it was at the ice cream shop. This time it was whatever.
Nice.
Anyway, so I'll start into the story. And 2 sentences in, he's like, and he takes over.
Sounds like you.
and he goes, and he uses my phrase, and all of a sudden, he goes, and then all of a sudden, and he'll tell the rest of the story. I'm like, okay, well, so much for that. So then I'm like, all right, and he doesn't want me to leave yet because he's in that phase where he wants me to stay until he's asleep. So I lay there, and then all of a sudden he turns over and he's like, I want to talk.
Oh, no.
He just does.
That's your boy, all right.
I want to talk, and I can't get upset. I'm like, I hear you. I get it. And maybe one day he'll be a part of the show.
Do you tell him you want to talk too?
I'm like, I do too, son. Let's talk.
Let's talk.
And 4 hours later, no, I'm just kidding. I usually try and nip it in the bud pretty quickly. But
you put me to sleep pretty easily. So
yeah, and I'm sure some of you listening. But the one I have tonight for self-awareness is more about driving.
Of course, yeah.
I have a feeling that you are. I don't want you to be. I have a feeling you're going to be one of these guys.
Okay, let's see what happens.
It is these dickheads that feel like no matter what, they have to back into the parking space.
Yep.
Oh God,
that's me.
Seriously.
Yep.
No matter where you are.
With that truck, it's easier to back in than it is to pull in forward. And then it's easier to come right back
out. Because then you have to come out as if you're pulling in.
No, it's not.
One way or the other, you're backing in one time and pulling out.
But I will say, in my defense, yes, I am a backer upper.
You have no defense.
I do. I usually will park further out in the parking lot.
Fair enough. The effort is there.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I do back in because it is very easy to pull that truck in, backing in that it is.
But what if you're in a spot that doesn't have that option, and all of a sudden you've got 3 cars trying to get either by you or park near you or whatever, and you're
I'm not going to lie, Ryan. I can whip that motherfucker into a space backwards. I'm good to go. And like I said, I do go further out, and I try it. If there's a crowd of people, I try to be cognitive of that too. So,
all right, fair enough. Because I know you, and I think I believe you. Even though you don't wipe your machines down in the gym, I feel like in this case you are a little bit courteous.
I try to be.
But it's these ones, Trey, that just I don't understand that people are waiting, and this guy's gonna turn and just and he can't get in the first time, and he's got to back in. Well, I don't care. I don't believe you that you can't just pull in this time. Because you're going to have to back out then. So either way you're backing out. I know you're saying it's different, but I'm not. You're backing out one time either way, whether it's the beginning or the end. So just pull in. Just or if you have to back in, go somewhere else if there's 4 people waiting. Again, you're not the only person.
Yeah, will not.
I don't know why the backing in thing just gets me.
And when I had my Jeep, I pulled in everywhere. I didn't back in. So it was easier to park my Jeep, a lot easier than it is this truck.
I feel like it'd be also easier to park your Jeep backing in.
Well, yeah.
But you're saying you're good with your truck.
But I could go in with my Jeep just normal, so I'm not pissing anybody off. So
okay, well that's fair enough.
The truck is a lot easier to back in though.
Okay, well good. Again, people are going to say Ryan's petty, Ryan is overreacting. I just don't like people that don't care about holding other people up. And maybe that's my problem.
Maybe that's the awareness. If you're going to back in, go a little bit further out in the parking lot. Don't take up an upfront spot and take up time for people trying to get in and out. Go out further. Yeah.
And I think a lot of people are probably sitting there saying, Ryan, this is on you. Just deal with it. Why is this person supposed to alter their goals for you?
Well, and sometimes these idiots just don't know how to park. So parking in backwards makes it a lot more difficult. And you're sitting there having to wait.
And you know who you are.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you can't, you have confidence.
I have confidence.
So if you're pulling in and you see a guy turn, he's in the same thing, you're going to whip that thing in there, like you said.
Yeah.
And you're going to go, and that car behind you might at first, which would be me. This mother, what the fuck is he doing? But as soon as you whipped it in there, I'd be like, all right, dude. All right, cool. Fair enough.
Yeah, before you can say motherfucker, right. I'm going to be in.
Right. So. I'd be like, all right, fair enough, dude. Nice. And I would probably even give you a thumbs up.
Yeah.
But it's these douchebags.
Lollipop.
6 minutes later, this guy's still trying to back in. And then he's still halfway across the line. Yeah. No one can get in the other car.
It's bad.
And then don't, I just
don't.
I had to hold myself there. Take me away from this one. Do you have another one?
Well, just on the way over here, you get these Sunday drivers staying in the left-hand lane. I get it. If you want to take your time.
Oh, another left lane.
Just move your ass over, because then you get behind. I was behind two vehicles that were side by side, both of them going about 15 miles under the speed limit, right next to each other. I wish I could be a cop and just drive behind one of those motherfuckers, see what they do.
Yeah.
Freaking the fuck out.
Yeah.
Because if you're driving that goddamn slow, especially in Texas, get your fucking ass over. So I
love that, especially in Texas. You're such a Texan.
If you're driving your cute little Prius, I get it. Just move the fuck over.
Well, it's all these Californians, and which we love, by the way.
Yeah,
New Yorkers, which we love.
Yeah.
All they're moving here.
Floridians,
and they drive differently. New York, people say New York driving is intense also, and it's crazy. Well, that's city driving.
Yeah.
Okay. That's different. I'm not talking about city driving. We're talking about just highway. That's more LA driving.
Yeah. Just move over.
But there's not a lot of places that it's just the big cities, and that if you don't know how to drive and you're coming here from places that aren't big cities,
stay in the right hand lane.
Just stay over.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable to me that it'll stack up and I lose it. And I really feel like if I die young, it's going to be because of this. It's crazy, Trey, and I'm with you. I think we're both on the same page. I'll be sitting there and I'm trying to, and I'm not in a huge hurry, but I'm still kind of like, all right, I need to get there. And I look, and as the highway kind of turns around a corner a little bit, slightly enough to where you can see what's in front of you as they turn, or as they're kind of easing left. And I'm looking, and this person's just sitting there with nobody in front of them.
Yep.
And 18 of us are stacked back, going 5 to 10 miles below the speed limit in the left lane. Are you kidding me?
And then there's that special breed of asshole that when you decide, you know what, I'm going to go around them.
Yeah. Then they
decide to move over. You're not a dickhead. You just move over and start speeding up, and then they start speeding up.
Right.
Like, really?
Right. Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, they don't want anybody to go. And I wonder if people are just like, if they enjoy it, if they're just sitting there.
Oh, I'm sure.
They're just like, screw everybody behind me and whatever. But it's just talk about awareness. This is a big one. That is literally just not being aware of what's going on around you, or not caring. And either way, you're an idiot. Either you're an idiot or an asshole. One of the two.
I was an asshole once. A road trip. I want to say we were coming back from Austin. I was driving my buddy's Mustang.
Okay.
And so I was the head car. And so you always have that one car that jumps out, speeds up, trying to get into the front so they can just speed up to go. So I was in his Mustang. He was asleep. So there was this one car.
This is the same guy, isn't it?
Yeah.
We've told 16 stories about this guy this whole season.
Yeah.
And then,
So this car would pop out into the right lane, speed up. I'd see him speeding up. So what did I do? Downshift, and I speed up too.
Oh, okay.
Until we get to that diesel truck.
Oh, God.
And then I slow back down, and then all the cars behind me catch up. So he has to back all the way back and jump into the line again.
God.
And so then we all pass that diesel truck. All of a sudden I see him pop out again.
Oh, yeah.
Start flying up. So, yeah, we did this probably for a good hour until my buddy woke up. And I think I was going over 100 miles an hour. He was like,
an hour you're doing this. Jesus.
I had to keep myself entertained. So, yeah.
That's funny.
And I'm surprised I didn't get shot. But, yeah. So, anyways.
Yeah, these days, I tell you what, the road rage numbers are picking up.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
He woke up and saw that I was over 100 miles an hour. He's like, "What the hell are you doing in my car?" I said, "Well, he was racing me. I didn't want your car to lose." He's like, "Oh, okay. Well, that's cool then."
Oh my God.
So yeah,
that's very him.
So anyway,
yeah. Thank goodness you represented the car well.
Yeah, represented. I was just bored, so I was fucking with this guy.
Yeah, there's a lot of that. I mean, the truck thing is another one. By the way, Trey, I get it. You truck drivers, we need you. We do, right? They do. They deliver everything. They transport everything. Not everything. There's some trains, but that's the truck drivers. We need them. Period. Right. And without giving them their own freaking highway off to the side, which
that would be
might
nice.
cost a little money.
Yeah.
If elected, Trey and I will
give you
will build. Lane. It might cost $8 quadrillion, but whatever. I mean,
we'll push it through.
AOC promises that kind of stuff all the time.
Yeah.
And didn't she said something like it's going to cost $4 quadrillion? Everyone's like, "Is this make believe for you?"
Yeah,
like
just making up numbers.
And but these truckers, they're all going and they like to use their cruise control. Okay, because I have a cousin actually who spent some time driving.
Okay.
And of course, he comes back at me. He's like, well, we hate all of you. And I was like, well, we hate all of you, and he's like, well, blah, blah, blah. And I get it. Look, the amount of times people are flipping these truckers off, I would hate the peasant car as well, that drives by. But these truckers will follow each other in the right lane. Okay, fair enough. And a lot of highways in the States, they're not allowed to go over unless they're passing, right? A lot of states, nobody's supposed to be doing that. Right. But so what'll happen is the truck sees an opportunity. He's going like a 1 mile per hour more than the truck in front of him. Right. He doesn't want to take his speed cruise control off. So he sees an opportunity and he bolts over left. Yeah, okay. Stops everybody. Yep. And instead of taking his cruise control off and like speeding up and getting around him, he just leaves it on, and he's 1 mile an hour faster. And so it takes like 10 minutes just to get around the truck, and everyone stacks up. Yep. And then he gets over, to his credit, finally, and everyone's just going by like flipping him off and just pissed off. And half of them, I feel like, are laughing. They're like, haha, screw you. Yeah. Like, they don't care. Give a shit. Yeah. They don't care. And if I was on the road that long, I would probably make a game. And they're on the CBs, probably talking to each other like, you see that this asshole. Stupid, Honda Civic yelling at me down there. It was pretty funny. Yeah. But for me, I hate it. The truckers, man. Yeah. Any more tonight?
I think that's good. Yeah. I think I'm good. Yeah.
Well, this is it. Season 1 in the books. I think that season 2 is going to be fantastic. I'm not just saying that, Trey.
It's going to be something, all right.
It's going to be fantastic.
Fantastic.
We have a lot of great ideas, and I feel like we know kind of the direction we want to take. We've taken our feedback. Both of us have learned so much, and I'm really excited about it. So stick with us, and season 1. I mean, look, this isn't like one of your shows where all of a sudden season 1's over and you have to wait a long time. Not at all. Trey and I are going to put probably very soon. You'll see season 2, episode 1, right out, like
ready to roll.
We don't plan on stopping, so we're going to keep rolling them out. And honestly, how about a little secret, Trey? We got
secrets.
We might be releasing more than 2 a week. What do you think? What do you think about that?
Are you serious? I'm barely getting enough sleep now.
Well, you'll just have to find out what I mean by that. We're looking forward to it. As always, social media has become such an up and down for us, and anything you can do on there, like the show, follow the show, whatever platform you're listening on. There's always a follow or a subscribe, and it helps us out a ton. It lets them know that people are enjoying the show. It bumps the show up when searching for it, and on and on. So anything you can do, interact with us. We've got merchandise. We're going to do some giveaways coming up here soon as well as part of this whole thing. And I'll tell you what, that's it. I can't think of anything else for season 1.
Sounds good.
What do you think?
Send it off.
I wish we had Antoine. His send-off is better. We need to learn that send-off. Do you have any idea how it goes?
I don't remember.
Something that...
No. Yeah. I don't.
All right. Well... let's send it off better than that. We love you guys, and we can't wait to go as long as this journey takes us. How about that?
That sounds good. I like that.
It. All right.
Later.
Love you guys.
Hey, Ryan, when is our Taco Bell, Mexican pizza's going to show up so we can make some money?
We ordered no meat, right?
No meat.